You are watching our live coverage of Giving Hearts Day 2024. Head down to Scott Hennen. Scotty, what are you seeing, my friend?
Well, Ty Shonert is about to interview Pat Trainer as we get closer and closer to that final number. One thing we can tell you is there is a new record in the 17th year of Giving Hearts Day, so that's pretty exciting. We were already there, but what will the final total be? We don't know. We're going to find out. And there's a few folks after a busy day here at Dakota Medical Foundation and the Giving Hearts Day that are pretty excited about the big day. So Ty Schoner is going to chat with Pat, and then we will wait for the actual midnight hour. One little thing we just learned is that actually Dickinson is on Mountain Time, and there are charities out in Dickinson, so they will actually be accepting donations until 1 a.m. this morning. So there's still time for folks to get in, even if you don't meet that midnight deadline that we've been talking about so much. So pretty fun. Let's see here. I'm going to switch things over, Chris, to Ty Schonert, who's going to chat with Pat Trainer in just a moment here, and we're going to find out about what his thoughts are. A long day. This all started, of course, about 24 hours ago, and it's been an exciting day here for sure. We had both our WDAY and flag teams here broadcasting since 4:30 in the morning, so pretty amazing. All right, let's look at that number right now, $28,897.43. So again, already 2+ million over last year, and Craig. So let's go to Ty and Pat right now.
So I guess I want to get your initial reaction. Thoughts on the number?
Oh, it's absolutely spectacular. We live in the most generous, kind region in the world for sure. And we're super grateful for all these donors that stood up and said, you know what, I'm going to support one, perhaps two, maybe even three charities. And then we had all these food drives. We have volunteer pledges. I think the volunteer pledges are over 1,700 volunteer, either acts of service or pledges to serve these charities. At Impact or at givingheartsday.org, you have hundreds of volunteer opportunities that the charities have listed. So with 600 charities, there is something for everyone to participate in something beyond themselves. And that's really, the joy of the giving. So that's one reason why people keep coming back. And they love that these charities are making an extraordinary difference in health and quality of life all across our region. So
Obviously, the number,
we're happy.
the dollar number is obviously a huge thing when it comes to Giving Hearts Day, but it's not the only impact.
No, not at all. In fact, it's the thousands of donors. We have over 40,000 donors giving. We think over 90,000 gifts. I don't have everything in front of me right now. But boy, are we grateful.
There's also volunteer hours too, my understanding.
No question. We have we have 1,700 people that have pledged to volunteer. So it's going to be even more than that because most people volunteer 4 hours or more per month. So, and then if they have a great experience, guess what? Charities have a volunteer for life. And that's what we're really shooting for. And that's what we train nonprofits and coach them about how to enhance their relationship with members of the community. And that really powers the mission of charities, both financially and then from a volunteer perspective.
Going back to the monetary donations, one of the things that I think is really interesting is the total amount of matching that's done when it comes to Giving Hearts Day from companies who say, hey, if we raise this much, we'll give this much on top of that as well.
Yes.
Talk about that.
Charities this year had raised in advance of Giving Hearts Day over $11 million in matches.
Very impressive.
Really, really impressive. And so the Alex Stern Family Foundation, Impact Foundation, and DMF provide training to charities for how to raise substantial matches and how to raise dollars, how to thank people, how to build a team of people that are committed, both volunteers and paid staff in some circumstances. So the idea of investing in charities to become extraordinary friend raisers, that's what we do. And we started last June with charities. And what you're seeing is people that are running these charities, people that are friend raisers within these charities, they're doing a great job. Giving Hearts Day doesn't work unless charities are doing a great job. And people feel very comfortable being a part of these charities because they are impacting their friends, their neighbors, their community, in some cases, the world. So we're, again, super grateful for the donors, but we also want to congratulate the charities that are making it happen. You know, we're a great platform. We love what we do, but the charities are the ones doing the work out in the field. Hats off to the media for getting the word out. You know, you amplify the message of hope that these charities bring, you know, to communities, of saving lives, of ending hunger, you know, of rescuing people, you know, from unsafe conditions. You get the word out and you help these charities do that as media, and it's super important because that's really what we use to attract, you know, folks to come to Giving Hearts Day and check out a charity. And of course there's 600 now plus charities uh, that people can choose from.
Is there an opportunity to expand beyond what we're doing here today? I know that we briefly discussed a possibility of expanding beyond this region. Is there plans to do that soon?
Well, there's a vision for that long term, certainly. And what we're trying to do is make sure, you know, we had some new things this year. One of them was this show, the Giving Hearts Day show, so that it could be broadcast all across North Dakota and Northwest Minnesota. So people can feel the joy and excitement that they feel in this room, you know, at Giving Hearts Day headquarters right here in Fargo. We want people in Williston to have that feel. We want people in Bismarck to have that feel, that sense of community that you see and feel here, you know, when you walk through the doors. And so it'll take a few more years to do that, but the long-term vision is to figure that out really, really well so that the community members are having a great experience and we're creating a tradition of giving and volunteering and ending hunger if you drop off food. So we had 120 plus food drive sites with Henry the Heart that you can see right here. Henry the Heart is a tremendous character that was invented by my team. And Kelly, our designer, Kelly Barbo, she did a tremendous job creating Henry. And then figuring out how are we going to get businesses, churches, and schools across the state to host a Henry, which is a food drive. And so we have a scan, you know, we have a scanning code. They did a tremendous job. So we think that ending hunger will be something that will attract people into, hey, wait a minute now, we should end hunger. We can end hunger. It's technical. It's not a complicated issue in terms of like chronic disease. That's difficult to end chronic disease, although we should try by eating better, maybe, and exercising more. But Henry the Heart will create family traditions, we'll create school traditions, and people will realize, you know what we do every February, the second Thursday of every February? We get together and we all drop off food, we host food drives, and we make sure that no one around us is hungry. We can do that, we can solve that problem. So that will make it sticky so that as we expand, that's one really easy way to expand with something like a character that will create a brand. Also having a show, you know, and also now the media here knows exactly what Giving Hearts Day is. They know how to talk about it and they know how to use your superpowers, the gifts that you have to inspire people to do things that are good for their neighbor.
Talking about the impacts of Giving Hearts Day, because looking at the number 28 million, it's a lot to look at, and it's hard to quantify the impacts of this. Getting close to that.
We might even see it hit 29 million in this interview,
So,
which is pretty unbelievable.
can we quantify the impact that has, not only with the amount of money that's donated to these individual charities, number one, but the volunteer hours, number two? This event alone is a huge driving impetus, a huge driving force in the region. Does that strike you frequently?
Well, first of all, you know, a deep sense of gratitude. It certainly strikes me because when you invest in the potential of these people that are running and operating these charities, so their board, their fundraisers, their leadership, uh, they can do remarkable things, unbelievable things. So the human potential within each and every one of these charities is sort of like a beanstalk. Imagine it going above the clouds and growing beyond your wildest dream. That's what happens when you invest in these people within the nonprofits. So, you know, continuing to invest in that is really where we want to go. Can we estimate the human potential? Not so much, because it's exponential, right? It's ad infinitum. You know, it goes on forever. So it's a great question. We can put a dollar value to what we raise on Giving Hearts Day, but what happens when you befriend someone that loves your charity and will be with you for life? What does that mean to the charity? Way more than what we raised this year. And it also transforms their life by being a part of something much better. One of these charities that's ending hunger, one of these charities that's rescuing kids, from unsafe conditions. One of the charities that brings bands and instruments to people that can't afford them. I mean, there's so many charities that are doing good. Are we getting close, Scott?
920, 28920 with 2 minutes to go.
We're pretty.
We're getting
Don't
there.
forget Dickinson.
This number's going to keep growing too.
Exactly. Don't forget that there's some in western North Dakota.
Explain, Pat, how the operation works. I mean, my gosh, you got to count a lot of $28,920,000 tonight. How do you do all that?
It's a lot of checks.
Well, it's there are charities have an account, and they're monitoring their account. So there's online donations, and then they had received a bunch of checks, and they get a ton of checks during the day. So imagine charity A having an event, and then at the event, people write checks. So they're inputting those checks in the system, because we have first, second, third, fourth, and fifth place in smaller budget size, medium budget size, and large budget size. So they're inputting these manual donations, and we're getting real-time donations with credit cards. So it's happening, in real time. So what's happening now is you're seeing primarily what we're seeing right now would be we're over 29 million are online gifts.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
Just popped over 29 right there.
Yes,
And
29 million. So
and it is officially 12 a.m. I
we've
know
hit a
technically
record.
you're going on another hour here, but look at that, folks, right there. So how's that make you feel, Pat?
We couldn't be happier. I surround myself with wonderful people. So I'm hats off to them. Hats off to all the charities that we surround ourselves with that have done an extraordinary job, because they're the ones making it happen. And let's not forget that we live in the most generous region in the world, and that people are good, kind, and they give.
My last question, what's the plans going into 2025?
2025, probably more of what we're doing. You're going to see more of Henry the Heart. You're going to see more of the Giving Hearts show that you saw today. We went from 6:30 to 8. You'll see that. You'll see that be bigger and more prominent, and getting more and more people, to take part in that. You'll see more contests, fun contests where we might have dueling personalities, talk show hosts, and have some fun with these kind of things. Giving is fun, and there's a lot of joy, in giving, and then probably a lot more on volunteerism as well. People want to do something beyond themselves, but they do need to be invited. So I see us teaching nonprofits more about how to have meaningful volunteer experiences, because people need to have a good experience as well as make a difference.
I know you'll probably be celebrating for the rest of the year, but I want to give us an opportunity to celebrate one last time.
All right. Doing cowbells?
Here we go.
Absolutely.
Here we go. Congratulations. We made it over 29 million.
How great is that? Yeah. Congratulations, Pat.
Outstanding.
The whole team.
Yep. We're super blessed. We're grateful.
There we go.